All right, welcome back for the very hidden and stashed away episode 2 of uh, Go Bold or Go Home podcast. We have Steven returning, everyone knows him, and then hidden away, but will be added later in post, the lovely Dylan.
Hey, my camera's not working. What's up?
It's all good. All right, so today's episode, we are going to be reviewing what the standings are currently at the midway point and then going over what we think the standings are going to look like at the end of the season because there are still about 6 weeks left. And we also still have the trade deadline. It's been real quiet talking to all you guys who think Ken Walker is worth a bag of peanuts, even though he's the best running back ever. So
Hey, don't forget about Zach Charbonnet, though. He's got the 3 red arrows going up.
hey, now we'll see. We'll see about that. But all right. So currently, it looks like I honestly, I'm going to be honest here. I did not expect to be the top team at this point in the season.
Just as I predicted.
Dylan, I'll give you that because I didn't even believe in myself. Like everyone made me doubt myself in the draft when it was like, you took A-Chain at 3. Are you mad? And I'm like, I guess I'm sorry. So
I've called you the mad genius this whole time.
So that stands out for me big time on that. Just looking over it. Also, Hayden's injured reserve. That was a team I had thought was going to be a contender. And unfortunately, God had other plans in mind, it looks like. So
Hayden can almost have my unlucky title. He's almost earned it.
He's almost
Also, shout out to Ben down there at 2 and 6. Didn't see
With-
that one coming. I could have easily flipped that to 6 and 2.
Yeah, Ben's had a rough go too.
This team gets shit on like every week. His points against is insane.
Yeah. You know who's been resilient though, like because we talked about like bad luck there, but resiliency goes to Colton. Colton, I was like, oh man, as soon as Dobbins and all that happened, I was like, yeah, he's done. And then
We take a quick look at those points allowed, though.
Yeah, no, he hasn't had to be lucky or resilient because no one's doing shit against him. So it's like
Bad weeks don't matter when the other team only scores 60 points. Colton's team is good enough to always score at least 64 points.
Yeah. Also, I didn't really realize it until looking at these standings is that the Bravo Bowl between Jake and Nick, that was very, very important for playoff indications because
oh yeah.
Wow.
That's why that was like in my panic rankings. I was like, definitely the Brabhams top because they're duking it out for playoffs head to head.
Oh yeah.
6 make it in now, right?
6 make it in. Yep.
Okay.
Yes. So, hey, Steven, that means Game of Mahomes is in, even if Patrick is letting you down on the low.
That's why I'm not panicking. 5 and 3 doesn't reflect my performance. You know what? Put a quick click on that points for.
Quick click on the points for. Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm not panicking. Also put a quick click on the points allowed. The other way. See, I'm all the way at the bottom.
Wow.
Who's surprised? Not me.
I don't know.
I think I've been number 4 on most points against.
Most points against.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nick's got that on the most points against. Or no, sorry. The most points against. Yeah, that's you. Sorry about it.
It wasn't me. I thought it was Ben. So it's Ben, then Alec, then me or something. Like I know I'm in the bottom half of points against. Like I'm getting shit on too, but
no, you are. So right now it's ordering from most points scored against to the least points. So me and Colton are at the bottom again, using what you guys like to label my black magic that somehow
you and Colton's black magic, but I'm one of Colton's only losses. Let's go.
Hey, I'm also the other loss to him. So
let's go.
The original black magic trumps his.
Oh, dude, exactly. No one
all right,
can
guys.
trump.
So asking you, who do you me and Colton play this week. Who do you want to win standings wise?
Ooh.
You actually, just so we're clear.
You
Because if
know,
you beat Colton, then I have a chance at finishing top.
I can see why he's saying that. That opens the door for Dylan. For me, that's currently as a top dog tied with Colton. I'm going to root for you as well, but that's not necessarily for the standings things. It's more I want to be the sole possession of first place.
Well, I want Nolan to lose too, but
It happens. All right.
Just to be clear.
So now this is where we're going to have some projecting and fun. So I think a fun way we could do this, I could pull up our projected playoffs. So what it's looking like right now with the seedings and everything. So showing your seeds. And basically we're going to say, hey, is this going to take out? Am I going to have the first round bye with the first overall seed? Or am I going to stumble and slip my way in the 6th seed? So I can go ahead and start. I'm
That
feeling
number, that
confident.
me versus peanut butter cup is giving me some flashbacks. I don't like that.
Flashbacks to last year. Oof. No,
I hope we don't have an ending like last year, for real.
Oh, yeah. No, that would.
Now we got Bills and Bengals this Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes. That'll be good. I'm gonna go ahead and go on a limb. I don't think I'm finishing the top seed. I'm low on this team. You could go back to the first episode of this at the beginning of the season when I did the preseason, like contender, not contender, and I even said my team was not a contender. Yeah, here we
well,
are.
you're a liar. You're a filthy liar, but go ahead.
Well, there was a definitive moment where that all switched, and that was getting Ken Walker and then getting
your buddy Steven bailed you out.
I don't even think it was a bail. Like, I think.
well, hear me out, though. Getting Ken Walker was good for his team, but he gave up on Monroe.
Yeah, which hurt.
His receiver depth was already fine.
Diggs that took his team to the next level.
It was getting both.
I have gotten a good break on a lot of trades I've made. Like, even if the trade was even value, it just has happened to end up turning different in the next couple of weeks for me. So I will admit that. But I think, in my opinion, your true contender number one team, I have to say, is Colton. Like, I mean, his team is stacked, to be fair. And this is Colton that we all know is going to go at some point. I'm buying all in, and he's going to push all his picks out, trade them all, and he's going to pull what Dylan's doing, which is trade all your draft picks, get all your guys, and then trade the players later on.
Have you talked to Colton lately? That is so opposite of his attitude.
Maybe I'm mixing up his keeper strategy, because in keeper he is 100% all buy-in, and Colton can testify. Me and him have trade negotiations simultaneously in both leagues, and I do mix it up a lot on which one he's talking about.
All right, I'll go next then, because I think Colton's finishing number 2. His roster is great. He has some matchups coming up that are tough. He has bye weeks coming up as well. So I think there's going to be a few more losses than you guys are anticipating. But in my power rankings on my analyzers, he's not top rest of season. So he's second, but he's not the top.
I think he's finishing first. Depending on who is second, that may come down to a points for thing where he maybe slides into second. But I'm just going to say that based on luck, he will be the top seed alone.
I'm on that line, and I think so. I think my number 2 is actually going to be Steven. Like we saw already, the points for, the points against. Steven also is a clear top team. He shouldn't have lost this week. It should be a 3-way tie at the top of the league.
He should not have lost this week. No way. No, sir. No how.
But no offense, Dylan, but you got bailed by a couple lackluster performances by him. And
hey, I would have won had I started a different quarterback regardless.
See, the narrative that Dylan is unlucky
I'm just
is
saying,
not the case this year. Just saying.
I'm just saying I would have won outright regardless had I started the right quarterback. It wouldn't have even been close, but
Yeah. So I would say to say my seeds, the kind of just the whole seeds here, I would do Colton as number 1 seed, Steven, me in the 3, and then the age-old rivalry.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
we're all now. Wait, so me and Steven go next, right?
Because yeah. Sorry,
yeah. Same order. So Steven's my number 1. Rest of season rankings, seems the deepest. He's got better matchups coming up. Like in terms of his receivers and his running backs, like they have better, lighter defensive load. In the future. So in my power rankings, he's like clear and away the top by like a kind of a wide margin. I know it doesn't feel like that because he just lost to me, and football happens. But according to all my analyzers and everything, like he's next, or he's number 1. So
I think it truly depends on how it goes this weekend. If I beat Colton, I will be the number 1 seed. But I'm without CMC and I'm on Raw this week.
He's without some important pieces too, though. I think. Pull up that matchup. We might as well just since we're talking about the the top 2 contenders.
Pull up his team.
Pull up that matchup.
All right. Let's see. There it is. Oh yeah. Looks like, I mean, he's without some guys, but no, he's not without anyone. He has his whole roster.
He's full strength.
Oh shit. Okay, I take it back. But
rip, Steve.
Yeah, rip.
But hey, Jordan Addison to the moon. Isn't that what you always tell us?
That's right. Forget the quarterback situation. 3 red arrows going up all the time.
All the time.
How you feeling about Tony Pollard lately? I gotta ask.
Well, just to tell you, basically they were like, hey, we're going to run the ball. But they went back to the idea that Jason Garrett had with the offense, which is we're just going to run it smack into the middle of the defense in obvious running down situations.
No game script has allowed him to do anything yet because we either trail and he's getting the ball front to him 10 billion times, or we have a is too large and we just put in Rico Daddle, so nothing happens.
Well, and then I would also say, like, when we have the lead and we're running it, they know we're running it, so they're loading the boxes.
Yeah, it looks like me calling HB dive on Madden 24 times in a row too. So that doesn't help.
And it's not like it's bad. He's getting about 2 to 3 yards, so it's like okay. It's just not Tony Pollard that we know and love in fantasy, and they're not really using him in the passing game either right now, which is frustrating. So,
all right, we tracked enough from our
yes
playoffs here, didn't we?
Let's go finish up. So, Steven, who do you think is going to finish in the 4th and 5th seeds? Who's going?
Wait, we're at 3rd. We're still at number 3, right?
Well, we got to get this ball moving.
Okay, but we got to. Who's 3rd? My vote's Nolan.
3rd is Nolan. He's got the extra game in hand now. I think it's gonna happen. He's got, I think, the easier schedule from Dylan. He's already beat me. Put in 4th, so
he already beat me in the head-to-head.
Oh yeah. No, I agree. I feel I'm at 3rd.
Even then, I think you're gonna get him on points scored barely.
So. I'm fine being in the 3rd too. I don't need a week off for my team. We like to play straight out of the regular season. Just keep the momentum rolling.
All right, next.
going into the 4th seed, that's where I think Dylan and I, like you said, the points for is going to matter. I think that's where we're going to have a tiebreaker, and I will edge him into that spot.
I think you're going to edge me by 2 games, but that's okay.
We'll see. You got a surprise win this last week. You never know. There might be a few more.
Yeah.
All right. Who do you have at 4 then?
Me?
Yeah.
Me.
Oh,
At 4? I have me at 4, but I have me back by a few games. So it's you guys top 3 in the power rankings. Colton has a greater than 99% chance at playoffs. Steve has 97% chance at playoffs. You have 94% chance at playoffs. I have 88% chance at playoffs. And then so I'm like kind of the drop, and then it like even after me, it drops even further in playoff odds. It drops like all the way to 63% for the next person.
And that's because everyone else is either 500 or less on their record. So
yeah, there's the 11-4, 10-5 teams that are going to be the top. Then there's going to be like those, what is it, 9-6? I can't do math.
The last 2 playoff spots are up for grabs and wide open.
Yeah. And speaking of those, and I know, Dylan, before you say it, I'm just moving along the thing.
do it.
At 30
but
minutes.
At least say who's 5. Who's 5?
I want to say 5. This is where we're going to get a little crazy. I know he just lost, but I think Jake is going to come back and take the 5 spot.
I agree.
Cool.
I think so.
All right.
All right, cool. Move on. This next one's the polar. The last playoff spot is where we're gonna differ. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
I'll go controversial right off the bat. The other Brabham.
You're
Nick
going
is gonna
for Nick in the
clinch
in the 6. Is that what you're doing?
I'm saying Nick finishes 6th. Yes.
Ooh.
It's only 1 game, so anything can happen. Hayden's team will be coming off IR this week or next week. Yeah. So that's a possibility. But Nick's team is also playing really well right now. But then Sean is probably doing the happy dance that Josh McDaniels got fired. So maybe his team starts playing better.
That'll really help.
So that's a really tough sell.
I think I kind of think Hayden's gonna squeak it.
Okay.
That would be the comeback of the year. And we'll never hear the end of it from Hayden, but yeah, sure.
He's only 1 game out right now. I think he's gonna squeak it.
So hear me out. And there's a reason I pulled up this roster. Because there are 2 people on his roster that I think are going to be the difference maker. And I also agree. I think Hayden's going to sneak that last spot. Sorry, Nick. Number 1, I got to go CD Lamb. I know I'm a homer in this and Cowboys and all that. But he complained. He was like, hey, I'm not getting enough targets. And they were like, you know what? You're right. And now they're just bombing him with targets. He exploded this last week. He's been getting, I think he has like 34 receptions in the last 2 games. And since that Niners loss, and he's about to play Eagles secondary, which is, as you can see here, 32nd against receivers. So I think he's about to go on a tear with that.
Oh, sorry.
I think Eckler is going to do really well going down the stretch, but the other key person, I believe.
I'm lagging behind if y'all can hear me.
No, we hear you. You're good. Steven, close your ears for this, but his other key is going to be Zay Flowers. I know you got Mr. Jordan Addison, and maybe I'm biased because in Vegas I did put a small little wager on Zay Flowers being Rookie of the Year.
Bad choice.
It was a small bet. I was just like, hey, this has great odds. And, you know, even though he's not a quarterback, there is a chance. So we'll see.
I think the key that is overlooked here is going to be Kyron Williams. Look at his running back slot. He's right now having to play Miles Sanders or Jeff Wilson, which is why he's not winning the games he should be. But when he's got two competent running backs in there with Eckler maybe looking better in the second half stretch here, that's going to be the points that sees him start to win more games.
But
Zay
do
Flowers, he's
remember,
going to be better, but like he's
Hayden
got
is
plenty of
good.
receivers. So I think Kyron's coming back is what's going to be the jolt that has him take that 6 seed back.
Since I'm the one that's not in agreement, all I'll say is I think his schedule is out of his hands. He's got some heavy hitters coming up, so he's got a tougher playoff schedule. His team is coming back to health, which helps him. But at this point, he needs things to happen elsewhere to make it. So it's a lot. It's a fairy tale story, but that's why I have him finishing.
Dylan, as me and Steven being the co-founders of what's the name of this, Steven? What's the name of this podcast?
It's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, I think it's called Go Bold or Go Home, and I'm going bold. Hayden, I believe in you.
Dude, I'm going bold and projecting Nick of all people. Come on.
It's so bold to project the guy who's currently in playoffs to finish him.
Not just in playoffs. The guy that's currently like not in the 4th seed, I think. No, sorry, in the 5th seed.
So just as a little snippet there, we have our projected playoff bracket now. Give me your with the brackets playoff winner, toilet bowl winner, and then we can move on to keeper.
Oh well,
brackets,
we're just doing dynasty.
Oh shoot! Okay, never mind. Dynasty it is.
But
much quicker.
Yeah, we'll have to do a separate trade video for keeper just because of this week. That was insane. Thank you for that. But I'm gonna go real quick. We got about 4 minutes left, also because I'm not paying for this, so you know. But real quick, winner. I'm gonna say with the upset, Steven's gonna get his title this year, in the league. And in toilet bowl winner, I'm gonna go with Ben.
Again.
Yes, 2 years running. He owns the toilet bowl
champ. Let me see. So in my projection, it would be me and Colton getting the buys, right? So it'd be Nolan versus Hayden in the playoffs, which I don't know. I kind of think that Hayden's going to get the upset just by having a good week to advance. And then Dylan will beat Jake. So that would make the matchups Hayden versus Colton. And oh God, me versus Dylan. Why? So then that would make the finals based on how this last week went. Colton versus Dylan. Oh, Lordy.
Hey, I projected that once.
Colton wins.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. All right. My turn?
Yep. Yeah, 2 minutes.
Toilet bowl. I think what you said about Ben owning the toilet bowl was hilarious. I think Sean wins it.
Ooh.
Because I projected him to heartbreakingly finish 7th or 8th. Unfortunately, it's just, you know, the Raiders stuff that's happening, plus like this tough schedule that he has going into to making playoffs is tough. It's a lot. We'll see how it goes. Sorry, Sean. Love you, buddy. And then you've got what was the other one? Playoff projections?
Well, just who do you have winning in the main bracket, and who do you have coming out on top in the toilet bowl? So you got Sean in the toilet bowl. Who's coming on top in the championship? Who's winning?
Oh, geez. I think it's gonna be Colton and Steve, with Steve getting the revenge win, avenging last year's controversial ending.
Let's go, Steve.
I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah, I believe in you.
Depends on how the seeding goes. Oh, I didn't say my toilet bowl winner, Nick. There we go.
You're going Nick in the toilet bowl. That's fair.
Why not?
All right. Well, that concludes this episode of the podcast. And For the rest of us, we'll see you, I guess, at the trade deadline. Adios. All right.